All right, peace and black power, everybody. Want to welcome you to another NCRBGZ Productions. With that being said, um, tonight I'm going to be talking about the economic empowerment roundtable discussion. This is a weekly discussion where we discuss economics or anything dealing with financial literacy. And first off, I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out your busy schedule for either watching this video live or watching the playback, you know, or just tuning in later on. Like always, share the video, give a thumbs up. Let the family know if you like it. Tell people to tune in, leave us a comment. Actually let us know what you actually think about what we have going on in the topics that be being discussed. So give me a second. I'm just setting this up, making sure everything running smoothly. But I don't hear no volume. So I just want to make sure everything is good. Then we're gonna jump right in this, because of everything that's going on, credit is very important. So this show right here, I'm gonna focus on credit. This show I want to focus on credit, and I want the family to understand. We're gonna talk a little bit about credit, and we're gonna go from there. With that being said, how everybody going? How everybody doing? Let me turn my volume down.
What's good, Set?
Hey, peace, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. Just me and you right now.
Yeah, we live too. So if you want to, brother, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the family.
Peace, everyone. This is Master You. I'm back here again for another great conversation. Tonight's economic roundtable, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what
great.
it is.
Okay.
So I'm glad you came in here. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna get started. What I was gonna try to focus on today, mostly is dealing with credit and credit repair to get the family because we have to understand how important credit is. Okay, we have to understand how important credit is and how good credit can make things so much easier. And with bad credit, you can survive, but it's not as easy as having good credit. So that's what I wanted to focus on a little bit today. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna play a video or two, like I always do, and then we're gonna jump right in this and discuss. How you and the family been, God? Everything good on your end?
Oh yeah, man. Everything good. Everything wonderful, man. We doing just peachy, man. So once all this is done, we off live, man. We got to figure out a time you and I can sit down and build, man. Some things we trying to do.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I was thinking about that same thing, especially with the buying the property. I actually we're gonna talk about that, but look, yeah, because I got something I want to show you. But now, so what we wanted to do today, we're gonna talk about credit. So as y'all know, I'm a part of my econ. So with my econ, we have a 750 credit plan, and we have a my credit system, and we also have a 750 credit plan at home, wherein it teaches you how to fix your credit and how to go about fixing your credit. So what I was going to do is I'm just going to play a video. It's no more than two, but we're going to talk about this. So like in this module here, This is just a membership walkthrough. So y'all check this out.
Welcome to the 750 credit plan. This is the membership portal walkthrough. In this quick video, I will give you a simple tour of the 750 credit plan website. At the very top of the page, you will notice the introduction to the 750 credit plan membership course page. This is the home page for the 750 credit plan. The 750 credit plan is a training portal that will teach you how to repair your credit for yourself, saving you hundreds of dollars by avoiding credit repair companies. It is recommended that you go through all of the training first so that you understand everything that is required of you to begin repairing your credit. The blue bar will start your first lesson, which will be module number 1. You can also scroll down and see all of the available course lessons listed as modules and jump directly to any particular module. In the upper left sidebar is a menu. This menu takes you to the Smart Money Kit, the 750 credit plan, the 750 credit monitoring, and the income shifting module. Let's click Start Your First Lesson and look at module number 1. The first thing you will notice is the breadcrumb trail in the upper left. It will always inform you where you are within the training portal. Below in the navigation pane, you will see the module number and the current progress bar, which measures how far along within the training you are compared to completion. Below the progression bar is the duration time. This time is based on the videos on this page and the time it will take to review all videos in this module. Below the progression bar is a button directing you to the next lesson. Once you are finished with this training,
You know what? Now that I started this, I realized that that might not be the one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do that one because that's actually the wrong module. What I wanted to talk about is let y'all see how your credit scores are calculated. That's what I wanted to deal with. How your credit scores are calculated, because a lot of people know that we have credit scores, but they don't know how they go about calculating our scores. And that's what I wanted to show. So y'all bear with me. That was my mistake right there, but we're gonna get it right now. Yeah, this is the one. I wanted to deal with, so let y'all see how your credit scores are calculated. And this is the video. So here we go.
your credit score is one of the most important measures of your credit worthiness. Currently, the 3 major credit bureaus use 2 main models, FICO and Vantage Score. This means that you can have both a Vantage Score and FICO score, and lenders can choose which model they like to use. Most lenders, around about 90%, use FICO scores, while the other 10% use Vantage Score. For your credit score, it's a 3-digit number ranging between 300 to 850, and is based on metrics developed by the Fair Isaac Corporation. The higher your score, the less risky you are to lenders. By understanding what impacts your credit score, you can take steps to improve it. While the Fair Isaac Corporation is tight-lipped about exactly how the score is calculated, they do give the weights on various criteria that they use to come up with your score. We're going to take these criteria and develop a game plan on how to create the best outcome. Your credit scores consider both positive and negative information found on your credit report. Late payments will lower your credit scores, but establishing or reestablishing a good track record of making payments on time will raise your score. Your credit score is based on the following 5 factors. Payment history. Your payment history accounts for 35% of your score. This shows whether you make payments on time, how often you miss payments, how many days past the due date you pay your bills, and how recently payments have been missed. The higher your proportion of on-time payments, the higher your score will be. Every time you miss a payment, you negatively impact your score. However, a few late payments are not an automatic score killer. An overall good credit picture can outweigh one or two instances of late credit card payments. Having no late payments on your credit report doesn't mean you'll get a perfect score. Your payment history is just one piece of the information used in calculating your credit scores. Credit utilization. How much you owe on loans and credit cards makes up 30% of your score. This is based on the entire amount you owe, the number and types of accounts you have, and the proportion of the money owed compared to how much credit you have available. Using a high percentage of your available credit means you're close to maxing out your credit cards, which can have a negative impact on your credit score. On the other hand, using a low percentage of your available credit can have a positive impact. In some cases, a low credit utilization ratio will have a more positive impact on your credit score than not using any of your available credit at all.
Okay, so I just want to interject, brother. You can just interject also. First off, I wanted to interject as far as the 35% of your credit score is based off your payment history. So again, like the brother was saying, it's always good to make your payments on time. And it's also a good, how would I say this? A good thing if you can make payments ahead of time, but you always want to make sure that you're paid on time. And there's also, sometimes it's good to make payments a couple of days ahead because that also helps with your credit score. And 30%, another 30%, the other 30% is like you're talking about is your credit utilization or the total amount that is owed. Your credit utilization is very important as far as how much money that you have owed out there. So right there with these two things that he's talking about, you're dealing with 65% of your credit score right here with your payment history and your credit utilization or the amounts owed. Brother, do you want to jump in and say anything?
Oh man, basically everything you're saying is right and exact, man. As you're saying with payment history in terms of your credit score, I've seen this work firsthand for myself just this year alone. But payment history, they want to make sure that within the last 30, 60, or 90 days that you're not really defaulting on anything that you owe. And so, the wise thing to do is to make sure that you never, when you use a credit card, don't use what you cannot afford to pay. And I know some people may not want to hear that. Wanting a brand new TV, if you technically cannot afford it, then don't buy it. Don't put it on a credit card because for me, I love credit. I love credit cards. I think the bomb.com. But the flip side to that, if you're not a good steward over that, then then you shouldn't have it. But anyway, alluding back to the payment history, if you find yourself that you're being late all the time, your payment history is going to be very, very negative. And that's as the guy in the video was saying, that's 35% of your credit score. So if you get dinged on that, then that's automatically something negative and bad. So in terms of the payment history, you want to make sure that you're paying on time. Then the other thing that you said about the credit utilization, which basically deals with the debt usage. So, brother Seth, this, and I think the guy in the video, if he hasn't said it, he probably talk about it. You never want to go use 30% of more than what you have. You get what I'm saying? So, right. Obviously, if it's you got $1,000, you want to be over. You don't want to be over 3,000. You want to be 3,000 and below. In fact, I wouldn't even use that much. But anyway, some people talk about closing their credit cards. If your credit card company does not charge you an annual fee, most annual fees are really not that much. But I get it. If you don't want to spend the money, you can take the money and put it somewhere else. The reason why you don't want to close a credit card, it's one thing if you pay off a loan, you pay off your card. That's one thing. In terms of a credit card, because credit utilization is if you and you probably can help me explain this better too, Seth, because the more credit that you have, and this sounds funny, the more credit that you have that you're not using, the better it looks in terms of your credit. So right. If you know what I'm saying, so like if you have two credit cards and they're let's say $500 a piece for both those credit cards, that is what, $1,000. Now if you are you say out of those both cards, you're using $250 off both cards. So on both of those cards. So anyway, man, I'm probably going to confuse people with math, but just remember you want to have more. How can I explain this?
You want to have
not confusing.
Basic. Let me help you out, brother.
Yeah.
You want to have established credit with your credit card being open, and the fact that you have already established that you're making your payments on time, or even if the credit card is paid off, it's established credit. Established credit is better than not having credit at all. So you want to have an open credit line, because with that open credit line, you have history. And they already have something to go by. And you were exactly right when you said, even if you pay your credit card off, it's not good to close the account. It's always best to have that credit card open. And if you just use it once a month, to spend $5 a month on that credit card, long as you making that payment on time, it's the best thing that you can do compared to closing your credit card account.
That's right.
I don't know if the brother I think he actually, I don't know if he don't talk about it in this video, but that's very important that you do not close. And also, if you have revolving accounts, sometimes you don't want to scrub your credit report of all your accounts. You want to get rid of the negative accounts. But if you have something that's paid off, sometimes it's not good to try to scrub your credit report of everything, because you want to have that established credit. And sometimes them things, they help your credit score compared to hurting it. And a lot of times you have to understand that.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And what I was trying to say with the credit utilization, I found myself getting tongue twisted. You want to have as much credit available to you as possible, not that you have to use it. And so to add on what you were saying, that's why you want to keep those cards open. So if you end up having that's why you want to keep the maximum amount of on your cards. Like you were saying, you don't have to use $5,000 or $1,000 at all, but you want to make sure that you have like the maximum amount of credit that's available to you, not that you have to use it. Because the moment if your credit card is $1,000 and they decrease it to $200, now you have less usage on that card, and it shows that you have less credit utilization. They said, well, this person doesn't have much credit that they can use. So what that is going to do, well, I'm getting tongue twisted, apologize for that. What that's going to do is showing that your credit utilization is actually lower. So again, if you got like a $10,000 credit card, don't ask for a decreased limit. It's just my opinion. Don't ask for a decreased limit. Just, you yourself just be disciplined and not use over 30% of that. Don't go to 3,000. But if that $10,000 credit card gets dropped down to 5,000 and you're using 3,000, then your credit utilization is looking like, okay, cool, you don't have that much line of credit left. But if you end up having $10,000 worth of credit and you're only using 3,000, you have more utilization with credit that you can utilize but anyway.
Yeah,
I apologize, everybody. I had a hard time explaining what was in my head. I apologize for that.
We with you, brother. And Sister Katina, she put in the chat that she did that, that she closed all her cards and her credit went down. Yeah, she's so right, because once you close them accounts, it go down. It's better to have open accounts, and sometimes it's better to have late payments to have closed accounts, because they want some type of credit history. They want something. And I hate to say it, but that's the way it is. So we're gonna keep forward. Let me let this go a little bit further.
So how do you know where the utilization sweet spot is? The general rule is to keep the amount of debt you owe on your credit cards below 30%, ideally 10% of your available credit line. It's also important to note that your current account balance isn't necessarily the balance that shows up on your credit report. Your account balance on your credit report will reflect the account balance your lender reported to the credit bureau, typically the balance from your latest monthly statement. So even if you pay your credit card balances in full each month, your account balance won't necessarily show on your credit report as zero. Some people opt to pay off their credit cards before the statement balance is created in order to show a zero statement balance and a low utilization. Length of credit history. The length of your credit history accounts for 15% of your score. The longer your history of making timely payments, the higher your score will be. It may seem wise to avoid applying for credit and carrying debt, but it can actually hurt your score if lenders have no credit history to review. Your credit scores take into account how long your credit accounts have been established, including the age of your oldest account, the age of your newest account, and an average age of all of your accounts. Types of credit. The types of accounts you have make up 10% of your score. Having a mix of accounts, including installment loans, home loans, retail, and credit cards, may improve your score. Two major account types are considered: revolving credit, accounts with different payments each month based on a balance, like credit cards, and installment accounts, a loan with a fixed payment over a given span of time, like student loans or a mortgage. There is no real ideal version of a credit mix. It isn't essential to have each one, but it's a good idea to have a variety to show you can responsibly manage different types of debt. Having credit cards and installment loans with a good payment history will raise your credit scores. People with no credit cards tend to be viewed as a higher risk than people who have managed credit cards responsibly. New credit. Recent credit activity makes up the final 10%. Every time your credit report is reviewed, like for a new credit card or loan application, it is documented. This tells lenders how actively you're shopping for credit and how frequently. This documentation is referred to as inquiries. There are two general categories of inquiries that can appear on your profile: hard inquiries and soft inquiries. Hard inquiries appear when you apply for some form of credit from a lender. This can include a car loan, student loan, mortgage, new credit card, and more. The best way to think of this is when you purposely choose to have your credit reviewed in order to get a new line of credit. These inquiries stay on your credit reports for 2 years and can be seen by lenders or anyone who pulls your report. Soft inquiries are records of having your credit pulled for a reason other than determining your eligibility after a credit application. This can include when you ask for a copy of your own credit report, a promotional review for a pre-approved credit card, potential employers looking at a version of your credit reports as part of a job application process, or a lender you already have credit with reviewing your reports. These inquiries only stay on your reports for 6 months and don't appear to anyone who reviews them other than you. They also do not impact your scores, but are included on your credit reports so you can know who's looking at your credit profile. As you work to improve your credit score, you will want to obviously work on removing negatives from your payment history, as well as lowering your credit utilization by paying down debt. These two factors alone make up 65% of credit score determination. However, as with any strategy, you want to consider all factors where you can pick up extra points to increase your score. So you will also strategize on length of history, types of credit, and new credit inquiries, which make up the remaining 35% credit factor. In the following module, we will discuss strategies that can have a positive effect on all 5 credit scoring factors.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back. All right. So like the brother said on the video, y'all. I always like people to see that pie when it's dealing with your credit, because you can understand the breakdown. You got 35% of it is broken down into your payment history. 30% of your credit score is based on your credit utilization or the amount that's owed. You got 10% that is for your credit mix. Then you got another 10% that's for your hard and your no, that's for your new credit. Yeah. Another 10% for your new credit. So that's your hard increase and then your soft increase. And then I think the last 15% is your credit history, the history of your credit. And so once you understand the percentages when it pertains to your credit report, you know how to focus on certain areas pertaining to your credit report to make sure that your credit score goes up. You get what I'm saying? So like hard and soft inquiries. Like soft inquiries really don't hurt, but like the hard ones hurt, but it don't hurt as bad as a late payment. So once you start understanding the pie chart and understand the breakdown of it as far as your credit, you will know how to react and you will know the things to do and things not to do. And one of the best things is experience, because we are a trial and error people. We have to make mistakes to learn from our mistakes. And that's one of the best things about life in general. Not only dealing with financial literacy, it's just life in general. You have to make mistakes to learn from your mistakes. So I always say a minor setback is set me up for a major comeback, because I learned and I analyzed what I did wrong. So when I know it comes around again, I'm not going to make the same mistakes. I'm going to have better myself for the future. And that's the same with anything. So even with credit, in your credit utilization and, your payments, and understanding that you don't want to cut everything off, especially when it comes to them credit cards. Master, you want to jump in here, brother?
No, everything you saying is right and exact, man. I'm just sitting here listening. Go ahead, do your thing, bro.
But yeah, so and one thing about my econ, that the reason why I'm pushing this so hard is reasons why I do stuff, family. But I'm pushing my econ because it takes the nonsense and it make it common sense. Like it shows you what to do. It's just a matter of following the steps. Some of us are researchers. So some of us like to research things and are problem solvers. So, some of us like to figure out and learn and better ourselves as far as learning things and doing it ourselves. But my econ is right there in front of you, and it gives you step by step on things to do and how to build your credit and sustain your credit and understand to use your credit. So because it's different than just having credit. It's understanding the credit and making the credit agencies understand that you know credit and you know how to deal credit and you know the inner workings of credit, So that's very important. So what I'm gonna do, I wanted to screenshot that pie because everybody need to understand the percentage of your credit report and how it's broke down. Right, it's very important that we all understand that. So I'm gonna share my screen because sometimes I don't like to talk. I like to hear other people talk. It makes it easier for me, right? So, well, you know what? Before I do that, I wanted to talk about to let everybody know that right now during this coronavirus, you can get your credit score once a month for free. Right now, they're allowing you to get your credit score for all three of the agencies once a month, and maybe more than once a month. But I know you can get it for free now, and they're not charging you, and it's not going to affect your credit report either. This is something they're doing because of the COVID-19. But you know that we're about to move into the stage 2 of COVID. So we need to be preparing for stage 2 of COVID and understanding that the economic opportunities that is coming available once we move to this second wave of COVID. If you missed out on the first wave, you want to make sure you do not miss out on this second wave. You want to be in position to capitalize, right? So before I talk about, I'm gonna share my screen, and I think, like this is so crazy. Like with everything that it's downloads. To, you know what I'm saying? Everything is just right in front of you with this, right? So, all right, I don't want to talk about how to everybody know how they can get their free copy of their credit report. But the next thing is it's something to call the Fair Credit Report Act, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Now, as y'all can see, what I'm showing y'all, man, it gives you a video on how to read your credit report, how to mark and rank what you plan on disputing. It gives you a spreadsheet, how to use the spreadsheet, how to separate each credit, each thing that's on your credit report. And but I wanted to let you know you can dispute online, or you can dispute through credit mail, but you never want to dispute online. There we go, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And this is what I'm just going to read this. I wasn't going to download, I'm just reading. But the Fair Credit Reporting Act is U.S. federal government legislation enacted to promote the accuracy, fairness, and privacy of consumer information contained in the files of a consumer reporting agencies. It was intended to protect consumers from the willful and or negligent inclusion of inaccurate information in their credit reports. This is a copy of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It was updated September 2018, but it's been a new one, but it's the same thing. But this act right here, understanding, okay, hold on, man. Understanding the Fair Credit Reporting Act is very important, because this is how you can get a lot of things taken off your credit report just by understanding the Fair Credit Reporting Act, because this is a federal law that all the reporting agencies have to follow and they have to honor. And understanding this and understanding the inaccurate information, if something is wrong, like this is how a lot of people get things taken off their credit report just by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And we need to take advantage of this stuff during this time. I think a year or two ago, a couple of these places got hacked. I don't know if it was Equifax or Experian, but one of them got hacked like a year or two ago. And they said that a lot of people's personal information had got stolen. And that was a great opportunity then, because they were sending it out to people that possibly their information was stolen, that you could have used that to better yourself. Can you take over for a minute, Brother Riffin? I got something I need to handle. It ain't gonna take me like 2-3 minutes.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you just say?
I said, can you take over for about 2 minutes? Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yep. Yeah, basically everything that you were saying is absolutely true. But one thing I do want to kind of add on that you were talking about the second wave was about to hit. I would still consider this the first wave, because this is still the first round. They try to slow stuff down and open things back up. The coronavirus is still here. So this, to me, technically is not a second wave. This is technically still a first wave. But during this, what Seth was talking about, he said, be ready to capitalize on things that may begin to happen. So one thing that me personally, I know they have all these things in terms of like mortgages, like mortgage protection, et cetera, but I still see people probably end up like foreclosing on homes and things of that nature. And if someone is foreclosing on their home, that's sad for the person that's happening to. Unfortunately, and my heart goes out to anyone who's losing the place that they live, especially have kids and things like that. but there's also an opportunity if you want to be an investor. And so, because what you could do if a home is, being foreclosed on, you can put yourself in position to buy that home, in order to live in that home, or you can live in it for a little bit and, make some modifications to the home and then move out and then rent that house out and get you another house. That is something that you can do. But in order for that to happen, you have to be working on your credit score. So like right now, everything, Sarah was talking about in terms of credit utilization, you make sure you're paying your stuff on time, et cetera, whatever you got to do to, to help build your credit score, make sure that you do those things, because this coronavirus, it will be over. And when it's over, it's where you're going to be standing at. Right now, I know some people like pulling money out of the stock market, and I know this kind of giving away from the whole credit conversation we're having, but I'm just trying to give you all like a general good flow of everything that's going on. Right now, like a lot of stocks are dirt cheap. You're getting some stocks at half off, getting some at 75% off. These banks will bounce back. These airlines will bounce back. I mean, airlines have to work. How are people going to travel? People can't teleport, and a train can only take you so far. People are not catching a boat to go to California. I mean, these things are not happening. The only thing of it is you have to ask yourself is how long that you're willing to ride certain things out. And for me personally, I'm looking at things for the long term. So right now, what I'm doing is, obviously I'm saving money, but I'm also investing money and buying stocks. I'm buying things like Delta. Some people may say, "Hey, you crazy?" No, I'm buying these stocks. I'm saving up money and I'm working on my credit score, because once the tide turns, I'm looking to, invest in property, though, and to put me and my family in a better position. But I can't do that if I'm not, properly managing my money and fixing my credit, et cetera, et cetera. And even though we're talking about credit today, all those other economic roundtables, especially one last week and the very, very first one we had, and we talked about, setting a household budget and just doing like, so many other things. So the stuff that we discussed, if you have to go back into those earlier recordings, go back and listen and take heed to a lot of stuff that's been going on. It's, especially us as Black people. For me personally, I feel like we are not in certain positions because we lack the knowledge. But, Seheru has brought it upon himself to, bring people to the table, and then also, give you advice on credit and, setting yourself up for having a budget and investing in certain things. Now that you're aware of this particular type of knowledge, use that knowledge to put yourself in a better position. And then the last thing I'll say in terms of the stock market is this. I know some people may say to themselves, like, look, I don't have the money to go and to invest in this company or do whatever it is, or buy ETF or buy bonds. You may say that. You may say, I don't have $10,000 to go do all this stuff today. That's fine. You don't need $10,000. You don't need it. I would encourage you to go open up like a Robinhood account. They have like Webull or M1 Finance. You can go to like Charles Schwab. You can do Vanguard. I know Vanguard. I have an account with Vanguard. You can open up a Vanguard account for free. And all you got to do is put a little bit of money in the account and then start, investing into stocks or ETFs and bonds. That's exactly what I did. But what I want to let you all know about that is you don't have to have $10,000 or $1,000 all at once. What you can do is what is called dollar cost averaging. All dollar cost averaging is basically saying, I don't have $10,000 to throw into a stock market right now. But what I do have is I have $100. And you can take that $100, every single month and invest it into an ETF, an exchange traded fund, or in a bond or whatever it is. And that $100 that you keep investing over time, it will compound. That's basically what dollar cost averaging is. You're using time to help you stay steady with the market. That's all dollar cost averaging is, and that's literally when I started. That's exactly what I did. So, but anyway, please take this advice that not only myself but Seheru and other people that we're discussing every single Monday. Please take this advice, because I want to see Black people in a better position. So that's my piece, and I see Seheru. I see you back.
Yeah, man. Look, you hit it right on, and you know what? You perfect with it, bro. Because you led me right into where I'm gonna go. Because you was talking about the taking advantage of buying houses, and so let me share my screen. Now I can't show too much, but I don't know if any of y'all know Brother Polite, or you follow Brother Polite or not, but I follow the brother. And not only do I follow the brother, I've been learning from the brother for a minute, right? So he have a gold in a crisis class. Now, the class is $99, family. But you know, I'm showing y'all some backdoor stuff that you'll never see unless you pay for the class. You're not gonna catch this unless you pay for the class, right? But I'm not gonna show too much of nothing. But I just want y'all to see that the next class that he's offering is UCC and real estate. And you know, you know what me and you've been talking about, brother, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And this class actually starts Saturday, the UCC, and I'm in it. I mean, I'm gonna take the class, brother. So that's why I've been kind of like holding back with what me and you want to do, because I wanted some stuff I don't know about real estate and the UCC that I'm gonna learn. So it's perfect timing. But I just wanted y'all to see that, like, now if you interested, you can buy this class for $99. We're gonna give you about 10 to 12 lectures and for 10 to 12 weeks. For like so like every week, every Saturday at a certain time, he gonna teach on this. But you know, I've been following the brother, but this gold in the crisis course, I'm gonna just tell y'all something, man. You know, the brother, and I ain't gonna I'm gonna stop sharing it, right? Well, I'm gonna just tell you, the brother went on Facebook and he the brother went on Facebook and he said to buy WIN. He said buy this WIN stock. He said if the now I can't do it justice like he'll do it, but I'm gonna just tell you, it was on a Monday. No, it was a Sunday. He said if the WIN stock go under $20, he said take your life savings and throw it in there. He said take your car payment, your house payment. He said whatever you got. He said if the WIN stock go under $20, buy it. That was on a Saturday, man. I mean on a Sunday. That Monday when the market opened up, the WIN stock, because he used Robinhood also, but we also use another trading platform. But WIN stock got down to like $19, $18, right? And he was telling everybody, he was like, put your money in, put your money in. Around 10 o'clock, guess what that stock went up to? That stock went up to $76. Now, mind you, he told us all that Sunday in class what to do. He went live on Facebook that morning, the day before, and told the world what to do. And Monday, when the stock market opened up, it went up to $76, man, around like 10:30. So like, and he went live on Facebook while it was going up, letting everybody see it.
Man.
He was letting everybody, he was like, man, did y'all do it? And so he's showing it to do it. Yo, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So just understand, I've been following the brother for a minute. So like, hey, I was in there. I'm in there, buddy. Just understand. And my pull-out game is good. I don't know how some people pull-out game is. My pull-out game is real good, buddy. So, and that ain't being sexual. That's dealing with, when you dealing with stocks in the stock market, you got to know when to pull out. So I pulled out before I even got to $70. I pulled out because I had already preset my stuff. You can preset to sell your stocks once it reaches a certain price. So I had already preset mine at 60. By 60, I had them pulled out.
Man.
But I got in. I got in around $20. A chill. So yeah, I snatched right on out of them. You know, some people get the baby, don't know how to pull out and get stuck, because what happened was Robinhood froze. The app froze those people because so many people was trying to snatch their money out and the app froze. So a lot of people got caught. call out there, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to play this game, man. But it's just interesting that you brought up the buying property and buying land, because I'm about to take this UCC class that the brothers offer, man. So I'm gonna take it in a minute, man. So we're gonna do that. But everything that we are trying to do is just to help. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to say we know it all, because I'm still learning. You know I don't know it all. I know it's a lot that I can be taught, and I'm being taught daily. You know, but at the end of the day, we have to start this conversation, and we got to be consistent. You know, I don't care if you don't take the information from us. You know, I don't care if you go to somebody else and get the information. The point is to get the information, man. You know, that's what we do this for. We take this time out of our schedule to tell y'all stuff, and it's really not to force nobody to do anything. It's just to kind of like get us in the right mind frame. Because you best believe when this second wave hit, the housing market is going to be the next thing. See, right now, you realize they ain't talking about the housing market, is they? Have they really been talking about the housing market been suffering from this coronavirus?
No, not much. I know a lot. I know I've seen quite a few houses that are, going for like foreclosure. And yeah, I've seen quite a few.
Well, I'm saying like the mainstream media ain't talking about it, is it?
No, not to my knowledge.
But guess what? Around end of July, beginning of August, they're gonna start talking about it, because the money runs out. The money that people, the unemployment money that they got approved, I think it runs out the end of July. It runs out, so people that's getting that unemployment at $600. That's about to run out. So, that's going to affect people paying rent, mortgage. It's going to affect a lot of stuff. So I don't know the exact date it runs out.
It's supposed to be July the 31st. It's supposed to.
July 31st,
yeah. But I want to say, because of how, I saw a video. This dude was explaining how, based on how it's set up, that you may get your last check on the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't remember how he was explaining it, but he explained it a way that like July 25th or something like that may actually be like the last day that you get, the last time you get your check. So he said it might not, the cutoff date may not be July 31st, maybe July 25th. But there's also been I don't know if you heard, the Federal Reserve had just demanded for another stimulus check. So I don't know I don't know if they're gonna in that, if they're gonna put something in there dealing with the CARES Act, which gives you the extra $600 a month. I have no idea what they're gonna do about it, but I do know beforehand they were talking about reducing it. Maybe 50%, giving people $300, $300 to $400. I know they were talking about that also. So I think don't they go on break sometime soon, and then they come back from break?
Yeah, See, I know that we're gonna get a second stimulus check. I already know this. The question is when, though. See, you see, now this also goes with the round tree economic discussion, because we're about to go into politics. Because this second set of stimulus is Trump ace in the hole. Trump cannot allow the re-election to come up with the economy in a decline. You can't allow that, because it's going to make it look real bad for his chances of being reelected. But the establishment want Trump gone. See, the establishment don't want Trump in office no more. The establishment want him gone. Trump has been stepping on toes of people that are very powerful, and they want him out. So you're going to have a conflict of interest coming up, and that last stimulus check is Trump ace in the hole. He's saving that, because that's his ace in the hole. But the Fed, they want Trump gone. The big banks, the shadow banking, the repo market. I think I'm gonna tell you something was funny, Master U. I done a show on the repo market on my channel. It's probably only got like 10 views. But if you ask the average person, what is the repo market? What does the repo market entail? When did the repo market crash? They have no idea what the repo market is. We're not talking about repossession as far as repoing your car. We're talking about financially speaking. What is the repo market? Ain't nobody looking at the video, bro. And I put it out there what the repo market is and how the repo market crashed in 2019, around September, October 2019. And it's
then they did with like short-term loans, something like that.
Yeah, it's dealing with
I know it's something with the
money.
loans. Okay.
Yeah, the money that the banks, like if let's say I need a loan, but I don't have capital, I don't have the cash flow, right? You will let me get the cash, and I will pay you back an interest on the cash that you gave me. What happened was the market for the cash was gone. They didn't have the cash. That's why the Fed is just pumping cash now. But by the Fed,
I didn't know that.
But yeah, and see, the market crashed in like 2019, September, October 2019. This is the shadow banking that crashed. And we don't know nothing about this, man. So, but dealing with Trump, when you're dealing with Trump, you gotta understand that the shadow banking systems, they want Trump out. Because Trump doing this trade war with China. This trade war with China is not helping some of the banks. So it's a big, man, but but it do deal with financial literacy. And I try not to talk about politics. I kind of like stay out of it because people be mad at me if I start talking about politics. Because I'm a pro-Trump supporter all day. When it comes to election, I'm Trump all day.
And why Trump? I mean, I'm not a fan of either.
Because
I'm not a fan of Biden either. So
because of the policies and what he is putting forward and who he's fighting against. That's why I'm Trump all day. See, I can deal with a racist redneck because I know where you stand. I keep saying this, man. I can deal with somebody that's racist and straight up with me because you know where I stand. I know where you stand. You know where I stand. So now we can deal with each other. But I hate that motherfucker that'll smile in my face and stab me in my back, man. That's the worst type of person, is somebody that is not upfront with you, that won't be man enough to tell you what they think about you, but a smile in your face. As soon as you walk away, they trying to chop you down. We know who Trump is. I can deal with Trump. But what we don't know is who the opposition is. Because we've been trying to ride with them for forever, but they keep chopping us down every time. They get in office and they chop us down. How they chop us, how they stab us in our back, they don't push forth policies that affect Black folks. They stab us in the back because they push immigration. You get what I'm saying? They push LGBT rights. They don't push they don't push nothing for us. They push rights for other agendas. Other agendas get stuff done, but we keep getting left on the back end, on the backside of the burner. So my question is, are y'all really for us, or are y'all using us? Are y'all using us for a different agenda? You know, Trump is after the pedophile ring. Trump taking that ring down. You don't think it's some powerful people behind that? But I'm gonna get off that, man. I'm gonna just get off of it. I'm gonna get off of it. But just understand that the economy, and when you're dealing with America and our economy, you better understand that the dollar is ready for hyperinflation. They are printing out too much money. All this money being printed means that eventually something has to happen to cover up.
you see here, sir? Seth, you still here? I think you may have froze up, brother. Everyone, I don't even know if I'm still live or if everything is froze. But if you all can hear me, this is Master U. And I think everything is canceled now. Nope, I'm live. Sorry about that, everybody. This is Master U. For some odd reason, Set Haru had got kicked, and he was talking about politics and the repo market. I know a very, very small amount about the repo market. I do not know as much as he knows at all, so I'm not even going to try to get on and try to explain it. I'm not going to do it. What I know about it is very, very little. But I will say this: we were talking about like housing. There will be an opportunity for people to invest in homes or buy homes if you can get your financial house in order, so to speak, as they say. So as I said before, by working on credit, and then saving up as much cash and saving up as much cash and working on your credit score to get it as high as you possibly can. Because I know for myself, I'm looking to buy at around October, and also too, I do know there's going to be a second stimulus check, and what happens with the CARES Act, I have no idea. But I do know that, and I also know that, if I'm not mistaken, Trump he did say that he was not going to shut down the economy again. But there has been spikes in terms of like with Texas, Florida. I'm not sure about Georgia, but also Apple. They have now closed down. I can't remember how many of their stores because they don't want anyone to get affected. Me, I invest into Delta stock. I do know Delta said that they will not have full capacity on their airplanes. They're going to keep it at, I want to say they said 60% or a little bit higher than 60%. So that there tells you that they start, all these things are about to become very, very effective. And if you're not in a particular position to capitalize during these downtimes, then when it comes time to, when everything starts to change, the people who are in a certain position, they'll be the ones who are able to capitalize. So I do want everyone to know this. We live in America is based on capitalism, and the people at the top of the capitalism chain, they're not going to let America fall. It may seem like America is falling now and things are happening. It's just the ebb and flow of life. Okay, great, but trust you me, Wells Fargo is not going to go bankrupt, and if they do go bankrupt, somebody's going to bail them out. These big companies, people back these big companies. All these different type of lobbyists and all this stuff. They are not. Some things are just too big to fail. And so my point is if you have any type of extra cash, if you don't have the extra cash, start putting money aside. And I keep saying, working your credit score, start doing these things, because when things bounce back, if you are already investing and putting money aside, you will be in a great opportunity to capitalize on when the market recovers. So even in the downtime, matter of fact, I know quite a few people who open up restaurants in the COVID. Open up vegan restaurants and they go and delivering to people. And I'm talking about they're making a killing. So, I know we're in bad times, but there's some things that you can do to survive. And once everything start booming again, there's going to be a lot of people come out of this situation as millionaires. Mark my words.
You hit it right on the head, because it's just a transfer of wealth. That's exactly what's happening. It's just the wealth is going to be transferred from us, and if you in the right position, you can capitalize on this major transfer of wealth that's happening. And that's all that's really going on. You have certain industries or certain businesses that are going belly up, and when they go belly up, other people are capitalizing, making money. So like the brother said, Master, you said you want to be in position to capitalize. Like, I'm telling y'all, man, if you think MGM stocks is going to stay down, you think people ain't going to motels? Listen.
Facts.
Something wrong with you now. If you don't think that these movie theaters are going to start back making money, listen, Amazon just made a deal and Amazon brought some big company a movie chain. They just brought them. Because Amazon, I guess they're gonna start trying to.
Was it AMC?
I don't know. It might have been AMC. I don't want to put no false information out, but I know they just brought one. I know that. But if you don't think that these movie theaters are gonna start back getting packed, if you don't think these airplanes are gonna start back getting packed, and if you don't think people listen, Airlines, and hotels and movie theaters go hand in hand. So while their stocks are down, what stocks do you expect to go up? Zoom stocks. Why? Because a lot of people are home. A lot of people are now using the technology. What else stocks have really risen since this time? See, you got like Zoom technology stocks have really rose. You have a lot of pharmaceutical stocks going up because people are trying to find the cure. You know, they're coming out with cures or trying to get a vaccination for the COVID-19. But you have to understand that once things go back to normal, a lot of these Zoom meetings and a lot of these I want to say the technology stocks, they're gonna start back dropping because the airlines, the motels, and them boats, them ships, the cruise ships, all of them work hand in hand. So if you don't understand this and see the putting or the writing on the wall to know to jump in on them stocks right now, then and listen, this COVID-19 thing is political. It's very politicalized right now. So they had already said we was going to have a second wave. They had been saying that we was going to have a second wave. So you're going to have companies, and so you got to understand that that's why I said it's political, man, because some companies ain't going to be going full throttle. Like right now, you know, you can travel out of the United States. I didn't know that. See, I thought that the borders was closed. They not closed. You can actually travel out of the United States. Europe is about to ban the United States from allowing us to go into their country. But as it stands today, you can travel out of the United States. I did not know this. I thought that they won't know. Yes, you can. Certain countries are still letting us in. And I didn't know this. I just found this out. So, but my thing is that you're gonna have waves with this COVID, and it's being played. And since we talked about it, I have to bring it up. This cloud that came from the Saharan desert, I'm gonna save that for another show. I can't put that in with this economics. But we better understand what the Sahara Desert sent over here. We better understand the path that dust cloud took to get here, or that dust storm. What path did it take? Man, we better understand what's coming. Didn't they say the locust is coming next?
Oh man, sure.
And
I don't want no, man.
what path is these things coming from? And that I'm stopping because we're gonna talk about this Wednesday. But y'all please we have to get our finances in order, because when you have a major pandemic or epidemic like this, things goes in stages, y'all. It's stages to this, man. And you know, one of the stages is chaos. We haven't got there because the government has been paying us not to revolt. What do y'all think this stimulus checks is for? The stimulus checks is really paying us not to revolt because they shut the economy down. It was hard getting tissue at one point. It was hard getting toilet paper and paper towels and cleaning supplies, and the price of eggs skyrocketed. Do y'all know what happened in over there in Egypt when they had that Arab rising? Y'all, them folks was hungry. It had something to do with their monetary policies. It wasn't all what we thought it was, man. And this has happened before. This has happened before in history, man. This has happened before in history. And you go back and look into Rome. Go back and research Rome. And research what happened when the Romans, when they start devaluing their currency. when they start melting down their silver, so it wasn't as natural. You want to know what they gave out there, Master U? You want to know what they gave them in Rome?
What to give them? Go and tell them.
Stimulus checks. They gave the people stimulus checks, and also what they started giving them was the Colosseum. The Colosseum. I can't even pronounce the word, but where they were having all the warriors fight and lions eating people to keep them distracted, to keep them entertained. And what is about to happen with the NBA? What about the
Talking about want to bring them back, start playing. But I think one of the players had tested positive for COVID, man.
Yeah, but listen. The same thing with the gladiators. Who do you think our sports are today? The basketball players, the football game. These are the same games that they were playing in Rome, just modernized. It's the same thing. It's just being more modernized. So they ain't out there fighting lions and stuff. It's a different type of entertainment, but it's still rooted in the same idealistic values that they had in Rome. So they have to bring the NBA back. They have to bring the NBA back, y'all. Because they have to start keeping us distracted.
You're going in, ain't you, man?
So we can look at the Warriors, man. I don't want to talk about this stuff, man. Go ahead, Master.
What's that movie? It's a movie. Somebody say, "Are you not entertained?"
Yeah.
But everything that you're saying is right and exact, man. And for me, if you all are students of history to go and study, again, for me, my grandma always told me it's hard to be the man or woman that reads. And if you read and you study, you become aware of so many things. You put yourself, not just yourself, but you put people who connected to you, i.e. your family or close friends, in a better position, because you inevitably will be in a better position, especially if not only you become aware of the knowledge that you're receiving from reading or just by studying people in general or how things move in an environment, but then you begin to apply those things in your life and in your environment, and then you'll be able to see how certain things will begin to produce for you. And so with that being said, you're talking about how things were in Rome and different things with the stocks, et cetera, et cetera. And I know a lot of people now, pulling money out of places, they're scared, they're fearful. But what I want to talk about is Tahuti. I ain't got to go into his background and explain who he is, but he has these axioms. I want to say he has 7 axioms, and I want to say he has something with, I think it's something else that deals with like 9 axioms. But I want to talk about one in particular. It's called the principle of rhythm. And basically, without me going into detail of what the principle of rhythm is basically if you have a pendulum, they say to the right side is the best of the best. You can't get no better than that. And to the left is the worst of the worst. It's like you're literally walking through hell. Life will constantly swing back and forth. There's nothing that's going to change that. Life is going to swing back and forth. So you can have some really, really good moments. You can have some moments that's, they okay, some bad moments, some horrible moments. It's just going to swing back and forth. And so what you want to do in those times when everything is all the way to the right, things are great. And when things are, even if things are okay, prepare for when things get bad, when you're going to walk through here. Prepare for those things financially, prepare for those things spiritually, emotionally. Get certain things in order, because bad times, unfortunately, it's just a part of life. Bad times will come. It's just a part of the rhythm. And so, what you want to do is get yourself educated and get yourself rooted. So when these things happen, because every storm you can't duck. There's some storms you just got to go through. But if your armor is well prepared, then no matter how many bumps or bruises or hits that you take, you can still come out on the other side. So take Tahuti's principle of rhythm and apply that to your life. When things are going bad and they're horrible, it has to swing back to the other side. The point of it is that when things are going horrible, don't go out here and try to destroy yourself. Get what I'm saying? When things are going very, very good, don't live like things will be good forever, because there will be things of famine. My mom used to always tell us when I was a kid, and I never understood it, until I got older. And now I see, unknowingly, she was talking about comedic principles. I can talk about, just genetically, she was speaking on something, but I might even go there and say, certain things implanted on her brain. But she always told me, my brother, to save, prepare for the worst, prepare for the worst. And unfortunately, right now, this is a worst time. But before all this, people were doing great. They were doing excellent. And now is a worst time. And it may end up becoming like hell on earth for maybe 6 months, for another year. It may be that way. But even in these times, there's things that you can do, the things we're talking about, there are things that you can do to prepare yourself. So when things start to get really, really good, you've already put yourself in position. So when that thing starts swinging back to the right, you can carry that swing all the way and find yourself in a better position. So when it comes back to the left, in terms of like hell on earth again, you'll be well prepared for it. And with that being said, I just want to say one last thing in terms of the stock market. Like, for example, there's a company called SPG. It's called Simon Property Group. I may have talked about this before. Simon Property Group owns like all of the malls in America. Well, not every mall, but any mall that's jumping, any mall that's great, any outdoor mall, indoor mall. Just look them up yourself. Look up SPG. They own all of those malls. They were normally trading for like $140 to $150 before the whole thing happened with the COVID-19. Right now, one time their shares dropped to like $50. Another time it went back up to, I think maybe like 80, 90 something. It dropped back down to $60. And they went up to $70. And so what I'm saying is this. For me, what I do is say, I research that company. They pay an $8.40 dividend per year, and they break that over the span of 4 quarters. So that's $2.80 that you'll make every 4 months off this company. That's if you own one share. And so that's looking at it from a dividend perspective. But if you're buying this stock while it's $50, $60, $70, trust me, as Seth Haru said, when everything kicks back up, people are not going to sit in their house. People want to go out. They want to travel to Jamaica. They want to go to malls. People are going to want to spend money. And they're going to go to all these places that SPG owns. So if right now, if that stock ain't nothing, I ain't buying that stock. For me, I'm looking at the future. I'm looking at long term. Okay, if it takes this a year, I'm going to buy as many shares as I can. I'm as many shares as I can. If I got about one a day, if I got about one next week, and I'm going to continue to buy more. That's not the only shares and stuff that I'm looking into. I'm just using that for an example. But you'll be surprised to see, like, man, I own all these shares, and now this stock is trading for $120 or $100 or $150. It's like, wow. So not only did you get growth in the stock, but now that dividend starts to kick back in. Because I'm not sure if they suspended their dividend or not. But anyway, you all can go research this stuff yourself. So you can apply that axiom of Tahuti, the law of rhythm, literally to the stock market, literally to anything in your life. It makes sense what I'm saying, Seth? And to some people, some people may say, man, this stuff don't make no sense. I'm telling you, this stuff works, man. It's life. So anyway, that's my piece.
Hey, man, you hit it right on there here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show something, and we're gonna get off real fast, though. Because I'm gonna use Ripple, XRP. All right, I'm gonna use Ripple. Hold up, baby, bag up, and I'm gonna show y'all. I done a video on this, and I put it on my page, right? But what I want to do is, so let me share my screen. And we're gonna get up off here. Because this is, let me share my screen. And then we're gonna go. Where is it at? It's right here. Yeah. I just want to show something. I'm not even gonna use Ripple. I'm gonna share my screen, but I'm gonna use something else. I'm gonna use Litecoin. I want to show y'all something. No, Ethereum. I'm gonna use Ethereum. All right, I want to show y'all. I ain't hit it. I'm gonna show y'all something. It ain't going to it. All right, hold up. What's going on here? Yes, I'm gonna use Ripple then. Ripple. All right, let me see. Is it going to it? Y'all see this? All right, what I want to show y'all is this is a cryptocurrency, XRP. Ripple. But what I want y'all to see is this. I'm gonna make this real simple and sweet. He talking I want y'all to see the all-time low of Ripple. The all-time low was 2,802 Satoshis. Now, 2,000, put that back up there, baby. 2,802 Satoshis is not even a penny. You get what I'm saying? You gotta reach 9,999 Satoshis before it become 10,000. Once you reach 10,000 Satoshis, 10,000 Satoshis is basically a penny. Understand me, right? So 10,000 Satoshis is a penny. Now, it says the all-time low for this was, let me zoom this in. All right, the all-time low for this was 2,802 Satoshis. Not even a penny. The all-time high was $3.84, right? The all-time high. Now, what I want y'all to see this real fast. So if you, and I want y'all to look at the time frame. All right, here we go. Let me move over. Let me move this. Look at this time frame now. All right. It went up to, here it is, where it went up to $3. And the all-time high was 384. Well, let's see. This was in, let me get the all-time high. Let me get it. This was January the 8th. So this was around January the 5th. Around January the 8th, 2018, it reached this all-time high. Right. Go in there. Now, if you see December the 11th, December the 14th, but I want to go back, not even that long, to September. If you see in September, not in September, I'm gonna go, here we go, right here. It was 25 cents. It was 25 cents a share on December the 8th, 2017. So for $1, you could have got 4 of these things. 25 cents. This on December the 8th. So within a month time, this thing went from 25 cents to $3.84 a share. Now, can you imagine?
Good gracious.
Can you imagine the ones? I ain't talking about the ones that brought it over here when it was 3,048 Satoshis. Because you know what I mean? For those that brought it back then, man, you know how many shares you probably had of that thing, man? But even at 25 cents a share, that's $4 for $1. So let's say you would have decided, you know what, man, I'm gonna put $10. That's 40 shares, right? But you know, somebody like me, I want to put $1,000. At 25 cents a share, oh, let me say you put $100. So at $100, I think what's that, 40? All right, 20, that's 400 shares, right? Multiply 400 shares times 384, man. And just see. Let's say you didn't get out at 384. Let's say you got out at 250. Man, let me multiply this real fast. 400 times 250. And you just see how much money you could have made, man. Where's my calculator? I would try to do it off the fly, but yeah.
No, you said 40, 250 is 25. That's like $1,000. You said $2.50, right?
Yeah, at $2.50.
One says like
that's
$1,000.
$1,000. Yep. So off $100 investment, is that four? Yeah, that's 400. Yeah, off $100 investment within a month's time, you could have turned $100 into $1,000. So now let's look at the win stock. All right, the win stock. Polite was telling people to jump in. He said if it get under $20, he said throw your kitchen, throw everything in. So the win stock got down to like, I'm gonna stop at 20. So let's say for every $100 you got 5 stocks, right? That's $20 a stock. So let's say you would have put $1,000, right? $1,000, That'd have been 50 stocks, right? Yeah, that's 50 stocks. Yeah, I think that's 50. Let me make sure. I think it's 50 stocks. So 1,000 divided by 20. Let's see. That's 50 stocks. Now it got up to what I said, it got up to $78, something like that.
Yeah, that's what you said.
So multiply 78.
3,900, bro.
That's $3,900.
Got a quick bag real quick. Let me get it.
And that was in a matter of minutes. Because the stock market opened up at 9 o'clock. Around 10:30 is when it skyrocketed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
So,
I think so. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So only thing I want people to see is with this stock market and the crypto, because I put them in, you can make buku money. So I said it's a transfer of wealth. That's what it is. Because those people who had this brought in on the stocks when the stocks was real high before the coronavirus, and then the stock market plummet, them the ones that are reeling. But the people who buy these stocks while they are dirt cheap, and when it rises, they're the ones that are now benefiting from the coronavirus. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what side of the tree you're going to be on? What side are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the plus side, or are you going to be on the minus side? Are you going to be the one that's sitting and be like, man, I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda? Or are you going to be the one that did and be like, you know what? I was a part of getting more money. I helped my family. What side are you going to be on? And even if you don't do it in the stocks or in crypto, if you fixing your credit, you still have an opportunity, because what this coronavirus has done for some people who have got laid off work is to let them see how to live again. Because we work so much, a lot of us don't know how to live, don't know how it is just to be sitting home relaxing no more and spending time with our family and our children, because we're always on the go.
That's right.
But this coronavirus has given people the opportunity to sit back and see the simple things all over again, enjoy the simple things all over again. And if you have the right mind frame, you're going to be, not only while you enjoying these simple things, you're going to find ways to continue making money. So once things do tick off, you don't have to go back to work, because you want to enjoy spending time with your family, with your children, right? So you don't want to go back to work when the coronavirus is over with, because you like the simple things. And that's what I think that a lot of us have to understand and realize and take from this situation. You know, you eat the meat and you spit out the bones. That's with everything. And with that being said, I want you to jump on in here, Master You, and and get it in.
No, brother. I know we say this time and time again, man, but no, you're right and exact. This second, I still consider this the first wave. This first wave is gonna, it's gonna continue to do what it do, man. I know California is reeling, man. You get what I'm saying? I know a lot of things is happening, and I think it's gonna get a little bit worse than what it is. But for a lot of people, my advice would be just to hold your head. You know what I'm saying? And one thing for me, like you just said, man, just getting back to basics. Just be able to spend time with your family, et cetera, and let you see things that are important. And it also teaches you too, if you are, being a wise steward of your money, you're going over your balancing, your budget and stuff every single month. It'll really show you that a lot of stuff that you have is really, like, you really don't need it. And truth be told, you really don't want it. You just want it because it's out of a habit. You get what I'm saying? Like, I really don't want cable. I just watch it really out of a habit. I don't have cable now. I'm just saying. So a lot of things you may see, look, all these things it's not that I necessarily like something. I just do it because out of habit. But then you get to a point where say, okay, cool, I got to begin to slash some things and make sure I got food on the table. You realize that you can really live, with far less than what you thought you could. Now, I'm not saying telling somebody to go out here and live like they ain't got nothing. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is a lot of stuff that you thought that was very, very important to you really is not that important to you. Get what I'm saying? It really isn't. And if it's not that important to you, why am I spending money on something that's really not that important to me? I can take that money and, put it somewhere else. And so those are a couple of things that for me, it was kind of of this stuff is kind of an awakening for me. And it's also being more pushed, man. Like, I wish my mom is amazing and great. And she taught, me and my brother so many great things growing up. You know what I'm saying? And so, because of her, I'm able to stand on her shoulders, based on the knowledge that she had. And my mama had a lot of dreams and things, a lot of things, she's a business owner. She's accomplished a lot of stuff, but a lot of things that she wanted to do, it's like, I'm putting it into action. You get what I'm saying? And so, and this particular time has been a reminder for me of that. And so, for me, I want my kids to be able to stand on my shoulders. And so the height that my mom gave me, I want to give 10 times that height to my kids. You understand what I'm saying? And so I really, really hope everyone is taking the time to just really, really, you don't have to reevaluate your life, but just see where you want to be. Again, for us as Black people, we always complain about how we at the bottom of the food chain, how we never pull together. And there's so many things, how people view us, we never got nothing, et cetera, et cetera. Now is the opportune time for you to go to do the knowledge. You don't have to get no books. I mean, I got tons of books. I don't got to get no books. You can literally go to Google and just cross-reference and make sure something that you're looking up is actually factual. There's tons of articles out there. Please take your time and read and gain knowledge. There's other things to talk about. You talk about land, owning land. You know what I mean? Imagine if you owned the land that these big malls are on. If you own the land, not the mall. I'm talking about you own the land. Understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you own land, man. This cat Wall Street Chopper was talking about that. And if you all don't follow him, please go to Instagram and follow him. I think I mentioned it one time before. I've never met him. I ran across him one day, and this dude has just dropped a lot of great knowledge. Imagine if you own the warehouses that Amazon puts all its stuff in. You understand what I'm saying? You make just stuff like that you never think about, man. And so take this time and read and research, man, and put not only yourself, but there's other people who are depending on you. So, be a leader and make sure that you put them in a better position too. So that's my piece.
All right, and with that being said, I'm gonna let you close out, Master You. I'm gonna close out first, and I'm gonna let you end the show. The brother hit it right on the head, man. And something that he said that I always try to tell people is to think outside the box, and involve, because we as people, we are searching for the God within. So, but when you search from the God within, you have to involve. A lot of people like to talk about evolution. I'm one of them. I like to talk about evolution and how we evolve, but you have to involve to search for the God within so you can bring out and manifest your greatness because it's inside of us. And we have to bring it forth. And we have to think outside the box. You can't think like nobody else because we are all gods. So we have our own thought process. So I can't think like the next person think. I have to think for myself, but think freely without limitations. Because we limit ourselves with what we can and cannot do based on education or based on what the people before us done. But every once in a while, the light bulb start getting turned on, where we understand that I am a continuation of what was done before me, and my job is to add on to what they did, and my children's job is to add on to what I did. Because at the end of the day, we are involving from within and coming out. And that's what financial literacy is about. Financial literacy is about involving. You have to involve from within, but you have to also get involved in financial literacy. You have to become a part of it. So it's not just going to come out of you unless you get actively involved, right? You have to get your hands dirty. You have to read. You have to search for this information because it's out here for you. And it might not stumble up on you. You got to get involved. So not only do you have to involve the guy from within, you actually have to physically get involved. With that, man, I want to say peace, man. Remember, the best investment that you can ever make is investing in yourself. Don't work for money. Let your money work for you.
That was the close right there, brother. You know, I got something to say, but I'm like, man, no, I can't go after that. Ain't no way in the world I can go after that, man. So, you sit back there laughing. Nope, I'm gonna save mine for another time, man. No, I can't go behind that. That was too perfect, man. They don't need nothing added to it or taken away. I'm gonna hush up, man. I'm asking you. That's my piece, man. Saharu has said the perfect closing argument. Perfect. You're muted.
Yeah, peace, family. Love y'all,
Yep.
man. We'll catch y'all next show.
Yep. Peace, family.